And in this presentation, we will get to know the program, what we are going to do into this semester and everything about the semester. Okay, so let's move forward about the vision and mission that we have already know, but let's again discuss that the vision is to become a university with commitment to excellence in the education, research, and the innovation that is aimed towards the human advancement. So we have to do something for the research, like what projects, and they must be innovative, and we can fulfill the vision of the university. Secondly, let's talk about the mission to facilitate holistic education through the knowledge sharing and skilling and the research and entrepreneurial development. Meaning we have to become kind of knowledge that is being able to make us a researcher, to make us an entrepreneur, and these kind of development we can do into the society. Then to integrate academic and industrial collaboration towards the nation's development and students' physical, mental, emotional, secular, and spiritual attributes so that you can become a valued human resource. So that is about the vision and mission. Let's talk about the UPSC of the CDE PGU. Firstly, it is the self-based learning, meaning into the online education, you take a lot of things yourself. You need to do the research. Okay. Let me use the earphone so that I can be more clear. Right? What do you know? We are talking about the USBs, and that is the self-based learning. In the online education, you have to learn a lot of things yourself. Obviously, you will get the content, you will get the teachers, the mentors, and the lectures online. But about 60 to 70%, you have to focus on the study yourself so that you can get the doubts clear, you can have the more detailed study. Second, to personalize the learning. You just don't have to just learn something and give the examination and that's all. You have to personalize it. You have to make it that it could help yourself for the further advancements and for the placements and for the career. Thirdly, for career advancements, the advancements kind of the things that like if you have taken the you are in the BCA, you are designing some applications in the computer fields. So it must be to that level so that it can boost up your career. It can be counted into your profile. Then the LMS for the smooth content delivery that you are provided by our side, and on that you are getting the assignments, you are uploading your assignments, and you are getting the notification through that LMS only. And then there are the four quadrant approach that is follow analytical, that is recorded video, ebook, and open source fields. That all you are getting onto the. Then there are the experienced faculty members. So they are taking the lecture of yours, and there are the videos of the content over the LMS so that you can go with the topics that you are not able to find anywhere else as easy as it is on the LMS. And then there are the industry ready curriculum. It is not just about the theory, it is about the practical, the things that we are being able to use according to the industry. And Zoom platform for live lectures delivery, as we are getting our today's meeting, our today's orientation into the. So you are getting each and every lecture, weekly lecture that you are getting on the Zoom platform. And the effective grievance redressal mechanism. If you have any kind of problem or issue or grievance, so that contact through our team. And where you can contact, we will share it in the last. If you have any question, you can post it down into the chat box. Okay, so what are our expectations? Let me tell you, to view the audio video lectures that we are getting through the LMS, the recorded video sessions by experienced teachers that provided by our site to you, you need to view all those lectures. Secondly, regularly attending the live lectures. There are weekly live lectures, but we have not to skip that. We have not to skip the lectures. We need to attend it so that you can ask your queries directly to the teacher. Thirdly, the actively participating in the discussion forums. There are the discussion forums that being posted on the LMS. So then after each and every session, weekly, you can discuss over one particular case study type of topic throughout that content that we have delivered into that live lecture. So you have to actively participate into that forums. Then you have to submit the assignments on the time. You need to participate in the curricular academic activities. And whatever the activities that have been posted to you regarding the, let's say the Independence Day, let's say the Jitmastami, or any other events that being posted through the portal, through the WhatsApp group or the emails, you have to participate on in those functions, in those program and activities too, that appear in the examination. Do not skip the examination because the re-examination is not possible, and then you have to appear into the examination the next year. So that will be very much clumsy for our side and for you. So just appear into the examination timely and then clearing all the financials on the face. So these 7 expectations are by our side. For these expectations to be fulfilled, we are providing you the USPs. These 12 things that are being provided by us so that you can achieve all these expectations. Then come to the Bachelor's of Computer Application, the BCA. That is a highly valued undergraduate degree to enable the comprehensive learning into the computer science program and technology. In today's world, the BCA is counted as the application for the computer system, that we can say the software, the programs. These are the things that are being developed alone in today's world. So that is a very valuable degree. You have to get the knowledge, more and more knowledge about all the application, the advancement, the techniques that are being provided by the content and by the syllabus to you. Our online BCA that is providing the flexibility of learning, the interactive sessions with the industry experts that are empowering graduates to thrive in the digital age and pursue rewarding the careers into IT. All while offering the convenience of the flexible online learning. Flexible meaning many of you are in the job, but due to that, we are providing you the lectures in the evening times, in the timing that is preferable by you, that is being easy to be taken by you. So do not skip them. And the duration for this BCA, you know very well, that is 3 years, 6 semesters, and currently 1 per semester. The efforts are required is to 16 to 18 hours approximately per week that you can give by attending the live lectures. And the total credit is 138. By counting all the subjects, it is 138. The elective areas are the artificial intelligence, we will talk about them, the data science, the cloud technology, information security, UX design, and blockchain technology. We already have been operated for these electives. So the core subjects that we have to study into the PC for sure is database management system, that's called the DBMS, into which we already have been or we are going to be about the database, about the system that are having all the basic data. Data meaning, let's say for this PPT, I collected all the data, meaning your syllabus, your schemes, your credits, your the things that are being provided by us, say the LMS access and a lot of things. So that is, and to manage all that data in the form that I can provide the useful information for, so that I can make this particular slide, like in the format of 4 subjects only, so that you can get the knowledge about the particular subjects that will be brief into this 3rd semester. So this becomes the information after I managed all the data. That is what the database management system does. And you are going to read about this subject into this semester. Second core course is the computer networks. Network meaning to get connected, to be communicated with other persons, other devices, and within nation or international. So without being connected to a network, you are not able to communicate with any of the device into whether it is beside your device. Two devices are being kept onto a desk, but you are not able to get communicated throughout those devices until unless you are created a network in between. So this something network is about to tell you about how can you share all your data devices worldwide. Thirdly, the core course is the internet and web application. About the internet, the network and internet that are different terms that you will get to know about into the deep into the computer networks and the internet. But let me tell you the roughly computer networks is to make communication established, and internet is through which we are getting established that connection internationally. Okay, and the web application, any kind of application into the web, so that like LMS, this is an application, this is a software through which we are getting communicated through all the content that is being provided to us by the region. Then there is one more course, that is the practical course of lab of the database management. Meaning you are not going to just read about the queries, you are getting executing those queries of your system. And then the internet and web programming lab, so that you will be able to create the application yourself. Now, moving forward, there are the electives that you have already taken. Elective 3rd is about the discrete mathematics, and elective 4th is about the artificial intelligence. All these are basis on the like whatever subject, whatever can say the specification you have been chosen. If you have been chosen the journal only, you are getting these electives. If you have chosen the UX, the specialization, then you are getting the elective technology in the experience design. And 4th elective is the information architecture. All the electives are of 2 credits only. Then if you have chosen the data science, then you have 2 electives. One is the introduction to data science, and second is the big data analytics. This big data is related to the data. The process of it, we are going to read into the introduction of data science, science of the data, and about to collect and manage all those data in the structural format. We are going to read into the big data analytics. Then, if you have chosen the cloud technology and information security, then your electives will be the principles of virtualization, and the fundamentals of the cloud technologies. So the principles and the fundamentals, we are just going to read about. Then are having the elective artificial intelligence. In this, we are going to read again the discrete mathematics and the artificial intelligence as elective third and the fourth. So these were the electives for the specializations and for the core subjects. So let us introduce the learning objectives. Why we are going to read all these subjects that we have discussed as the core subjects or the journal subjects. So firstly, about the database management system. So it is to introduce the management of database system and understand the fundamentals of the relational system, including the data models, the database architecture, and database manipulation. I have told about you the database. What is database? Where we are getting collected all the information. But with that, there are a lot of models. Models like in what structure, in what shape we are having all those data. The database architecture, really, how we are going to use those data from that storage. And database manipulations, meaning we can add more data to it, we can delete the data from it, we can renew it, we can operate it as we like, as our need or requirement. So all these things we are going to study into this particular subject. It is to provide the knowledge about relational database models. Relational meaning where we have the table. Look, you can say, you can see the data as raw format, meaning the data is being kept as it was taken from the sources. Let's say you have written the details of 20 persons in a notebook. So you have written wherever the name, address, whatever the information you are being able to get collected from all those persons. But the structure meaning you have created a particular structured table and then you are finding the columns, the name, the serial number, the etc. And according to that structure, you are filling the details into that table. That is the relational database. And there are a lot of models for this. We are going to read about them in this subject. We will learn the basics of concept of the database in general with an emphasis on the relational databases, the modeling techniques, and the writing queries. And lastly, to understand the normalization techniques, normalize the data meaning getting the errors of this clumsy data. The transaction processing, how you are going to show that data to some person, have access of that data to some person. The concurrency control techniques and the recovery of database against the crashes that are being also covered into this particular subject. The subject code is 301. Then let's come to the second subject, computer networks. What are the learning objectives of this subject? Is the basics of networking and network technology. How we are getting communicated through the devices, all those technology, meaning the connectors, the wires, all these things we are getting to know into this. The networking and its underlying principles. There are some methods, there are some principles, only on what basis we are able to get communicated throughout the world. If we are not following those protocols, we are not being able to getting connected with any other device. Then the fundamental of layered modems, the devices that are used into the networks and their wireless connectivity. Then the ways to troubleshoot the network related issues. And the protocols meaning the general rules that we have to follow. The standards, meaning the particular criteria that we have to follow. And the models associated with networking technology and their troubleshooting mechanisms. Troubleshooting meaning to get the errors out, to get the issues resolved. Then come to the third subject, 303, that is about the internet and the web application. And the learning objectives of this subject will be to analyze a web page and identify its element and the attributes. If you are getting a web page, currently, right now, you are not able to identify what are the elements. You do not know what could be the elements. Like there could be the containers, there could be the databases, there could be a lot of things. But right now, we are not able because we do not know about the elements of our application. But when we will know about that, we are going to change, we are going to design a lot of things. Then to create the web pages using the HTML, that is extended version of the HTML. HTML is the basic thing that we have used till now. What this HTML provides is the extended features and cascading style sheets by which we are getting our website designed in the colors, in type of shapes and type of styles that it can be presented to the user. To build the dynamic web pages using the JavaScript, that is client-side programming, and create the XML documents and the schemas. Then for the 304, there will be the objectives. Introduce the management of the database system and to understand the fundamentals of the relational system, including the data model, the database architecture, and database manipulations. All these we have discussed earlier. So, point to provide the knowledge about the relational database and to learn the basic concept of the database in general with an emphasis on the relational databases. Relational, I already told you, that is into the structured format that from which we can get any kind of relation, meaning it is dependent on that data or it is providing that particular information from the combination of that data, these kinds of things. And to basic concept of database, modeling techniques, the writing queries, and to understand normalization techniques, the transaction processing, concurrency technique, and recovery of databases against the crashes that are also covered. Sometimes our database has been crashed. Let's say there is some misuse of the data or anyone has corrupted it by any virus or malware or anything else. Cover of our data by some techniques. What are we are going to know from the subject, from the content that will be delivered to us. Then come to the next internet and web. For this subject, the learning objective will be to analyze a web page and identify the elements and the attributes. Then to create the web page using the HTML and cascading style sheet. Then to build the dynamic web pages using the JavaScript, that is client-side programming. And to create the XML document and schemas. Now, where are the lectures about the discrete mathematics? Why we are reading this subject? When we are reading the math into this third semester as an elective. Because due to the objectives of to analyze the logical positions via the truth tables, there are a lot of areas where these truth tables are being worked into the binary model 0 1 all the system or the computer are based on only that. So we can analyze all the logical propositions on these, on the basis of these truth tables. To understand the sets and functions and the algebra on the set. To determine the properties of relations, to identify the equivalence and partial order relation, to sketch the relation, to identify the functions and determine their properties, to define the graphs, digraphs, and trees, and identify the main properties, and to evaluate the combinations and permutation on the set. Then into the artificial intelligence, you are going to read about to demonstrate the understanding of the history of AI, meaning how being discovered, how it was being able to get into the knowledge of another person, and how we are using into today's world. To apply the basic principle of AI in the solution that require the problem solving, the inference, perception, and knowledge representation, and the value. All these things were being able to be used from various years. The Google is using that. Provided the solution, provided us the 10 best website, kind of the question that we are following, and we are getting results by it. The only basic principles, only basic applications of the AI. For to demonstrate the awareness and a fundamental understanding of the various application of AI techniques into the agents, the we are getting on each and every website nowadays. The expert system to artificial neural networks and other machine learning models, and to demonstrate the proficiency developing application in the AI application. The expert system share data mining tool, meaning that we are getting translation of our language. We are giving the prompt to the Google Translator that convert our English into the Chinese, into the Hindi, into any other language, and it is being replying us into that exact language. That is according to the AI uses. Then, what are the learning objectives of technology in the experience design? That is about to know the futuristic technology and their implementation into the design, and to be able to comprehend technology constraint onto the design, understand the technological experience and product ecosystem, and to research the project in the design using latest technology. So let's move forward into the second elective. Its objective are for the information technology architecture, the understanding of information architecture, and about the tools and techniques of this, being hands-on, meaning the practical for the card sorting for the tools, and to create IT for different industries, for learning types and the structure of this IT, meaning information architecture, and to learn to create any task, to identify some potential disruptive innovation and take advantage to one innovation. Second is to introduce of data science. We are going to know about the introduction of analytical techniques into this data and the model evaluation of the data analytics. Then there is the big data analytics. What are the objectives of learning of this subject? Is to explanation the motivation for big data system and identify the main sources of big data in the real time. Demonstrate and use the framework like Hadoop, like NoSQL, to efficiently store and retrieve the processes, big data for any analytics. To implement several data incentive, their task that is using the map reduce paradigm to apply the several newer algorithm for clustering, classifying, and finding the association into big data, and to design the algorithm to analyze big data like streams, like onto the web. There are webs that are having a lot of data. If we are not able to manage it, we are going to crash our server. So it is very necessary to manage it, and that is being done by the big data. Then there is CTIS. In this, we are going to learn the principles of virtualization. What are we here to install and configuration the SDDC using the VMware products. To implement the fault tolerance and high availability for the virtual machine, to secure the virtual environment, and to resource optimization and monitoring. Then there are the fundamentals of the cloud technology. Their objectives are to understand the concept, characteristic, delivery model, and benefits of the cloud. To understand the key security and compliance challenges of the cloud computing, to understand the key technical and organizational challenges. What are the challenges that we are being able to handle technically, and according to the various organizations, what are the problems that we need to follow? And to understand the different characteristics of the public, private, and hybrid cloud deployment model. What is public? That we are using for only a particular person or individual's need. As per we are having the Google Drive space onto the Gmail available. It is provided for individual persons. This is the private one. The public one meaning that is open for all. And the hybrid meaning some part of it has been accessed by anyone and some by the authenticated persons only. Then into the VL1, we are going to study about the fundamentals of blockchain. There are being able to understanding the fundamental behind blockchain technology and how it is working. appreciate the business, data use case, meaning the use case of the businesses and the future possibilities for the blockchain. That is a technique that is being rapidly growing now. To understand the basic of security for the blockchain and understand the blockchain ecosystem, the platforms, the services, and service provider. Then there is a distributed ledger of technology, in which we are going to understand about the blockchain technology and to develop the blockchain-based solution and write smart content using the Hyperledger Fabric and Ethereum framework. Then there are the guidelines for the discussion forum. We already been go through it, but let me discuss this one more time for you. The guidelines for you is to discussion forum is a part of the continuous learning assessment. We are being assessed you. We are doing your assessment on the basis of these two. So participation in this forum is mandatory for learners to get the CIA. If participation is less than 50% in the discussion topic of any course, that in that scenario, you will lose the marks from the internal assessment, meaning the 30% weakness in that particular course for which your participation will be less than 50%. Do not raise any non-academic queries and out of the context into the discussion forum. So use this platform to have a constructive discussion on the academic and current affair topic related to that particular course only. You can talk about the case studies, you can talk about the current scenarios, but not any other thing. To avoid a raising discussion on the hot button topic that could prejudice upon the gender, sex, religion, ethnicity, culture, and political issues. To break up a long posting into smaller, easier to read paragraph, be concise in your reply and use up to 150 to 200 words in a reply of discussion. That is enough. If you are posting something that has been copied from somewhere and you have pasted it as your reply, it is of no use for you or for us. To demonstrate the professionalism and courtesy while posting your comments and response into the discussion forum, use the derogatory and rude language that is strictly prohibited. You must stay on the topic of ongoing discussion, and you can ensure this by reading all the posts in a threaded message before responding or by rewriting the discussion forum topic or prompt. There is an answer. You are reposting on which thread, and there will be the series of the threads. Okay, series of the post or replies onto that forum. So you have to read what answers already has been posted, and into that manner, into that sequence, you can post your answer. Always find one positive aspect of another standard post before launching into a critic. Acknowledge point of view of other, whether or not you are fully agreed and contributed to move the discussion in a positive and relevant direction. Novelty and reasonability. As I already told you, do not copy your answer from anywhere and post it onto the discussion forum just to be being participated. Just read it out, just try yourself answer and write your answer into a very concise paragraph. So acknowledge point of view and other also whether or not fully agree and contributed to move the discussion in a positive and relevant direction. And use of any AI writing, ChatGPT, etc., it is to frame the answer is strictly prohibited. Because if you are doing that, you are not being able to create your answer, you are not being able to structure your words for any particular thought. That will not be possible to be long. And a discussion moderator, it can use the Pelagian checker to verify the originality of the content. And if it has been copied and pasted only, it will be rejected. All the learners are allowed to appreciate and rate the reply or responses of their peers on the basis of her language skills. That is 1 to 5, meaning if it is below 2, that is unsatisfactory and irrelevant. 2 to 3, that is satisfactory, where the few essential information needed to be incorporated, meaning it could be of places very, very random. Then would reply to the topic if it is in between 3 or 4. There are minor details that are missing. And if it is between 4 to 5, that is excellent and substantial response to the discussion topic. So I hope you know about the plagiarism. Maybe that is a technique that can check whatever topic or matter you have copied from some online tool. If you have copied and pasted, it can meaning it can find it out from where you have copied the data and what content exactly you had copied. It provides the result, the report, and we are getting to know that you are not writing that answer yourself. And there are the guidelines for the live interactive sessions for the learner. You have to keep yourself mute and your video disabled during the session. You can type your name and then normal number and the program name in the chat box so that you can mark your attendance. You are requested to keep the note of all your queries, which will be discussed during the Q&A session. Do not interrupt in between. You have to write it down, whatever the question is being arised into your mind, and then you can ask it later. You have to type your queries into the chat box, and then they will be keyed up during the Q&A session. You can raise a question only after completion of the topic. Do not intervene in between. Do not cross talk, do not share your screen, do not disturb any other one, because into that session, there are a lot of persons that are being involved and many are being involved in between their works. So just let it be like that. The session is being recorded and will be available into the LMS after that session. Do not click on present now anytime during the session. Maintain the discipline for the smooth conductance of session. Avoid posting irrelevant question. Do not start any personal conversation over that session. The interaction with the faculty should be constructive. There should be no disruptive comment and it will not be appreciated. You can send your non-subject queries to the post query option into the student zone. For any issues, you can contact to the academic support service only, not the chat box of any lecture. And please ensure to provide the feedback of the lecture session in the shared feedback form during the session into chat box only. So these are the commencement dates of your third semester that we have started it today, 14th of August, and the release of academic content on the LMS. It will be from 24th August to 31st December only. After 31st December, it will be removed from there. The release of graded assignment. The assignment you will get from 5th October to 15th November and kindly submit them before the deadlines. The last date of graded assignment, you can take a snapshot of this if you want to get updated about the dates. You can submit into the LMS from 24 December and deadlines on the LMS will be pop up from the 5 December. The live sessions as per the program modules, after the weekly notification, you will get that notification on the LMS. The mid-semester feedback on the LMS, it will be available from the 5th November till 15th November only. The pre-exam preparation, meaning the date sheet that you will get from the 20th November to the 25th November. The registration and the slot booking from the 26th November for the online examination. It will be available from 26th November till 24th December, near about 1 month. And the admit card will be generated on to the 1st January till 7th January. Interim semester exam will be started 7th January onwards. And the result will be declarative. It is a tentative date only from the 8th February to 30th February. The exam result grievance you can redress from the 14th February to 20th. And then the next semester will be start tentatively from 19th February. And the payment of the fees for the next semester is 28th February. So if you have any query, you can ask Anushika on this contact number and the email is this. So if you have any query regarding to the academic, you can use the support service from this. So let's being arise, be awake, and do not stop until the goal will be reached. I hope you understand this. And now, if you have any query, you can ask me. Internship. For internship, you can ask to the academic support service. Related to the internship queries, you should ask on to the academic support service. If you have any query about what we have discussed in this session, you can ask me that. If you have confusion in any date or any content or any kind of thing that we have discussed. Any other of you, if you want to ask any question, you can sit down. Okay, so if you have no query, then we can wind up the session. Then good luck to you for your new journey. I hope all the points are being clear to you. You have to access through your available videos, audios, content onto the LMS. You have to assignment completion fees for yes, which fees, Divyansh? The exam fees you're talking about or any other fees? For the next semester, it is 28. And for the first semester, um, 1 minute. Actually, last date is already over with them, so you have to fill the fees. You have to submit it anytime because last date is already over. There is any other query, you can ask me. About the results, about the fees, you can ask to the SRM team. Any other question, any other query? Okay, then get connected. Be ready for your lectures, for your sessions. You will meet there. We are winding up for today.